EA Sports coverage of the NFL has us at the Mercedes-Benz Superdome in downtown New Orleans. The setting in this dome just serves to amplify the excitement of the folks in New Orleans as their Saints burst from the tunnel a moment ago. They're set, and we're set as well as the Saints get ready to do battle with the New Orleans Saints. Here's Will Lutz ready to get this one started. And we are underway from the Superdome. That's fielded in the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line.
It's your last opportunity, dog. Don't be waiting and trying to thinking you can get last point.
They'll run it for the first time with Alvin Kamara. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31. The game's first play produces 6 yards, brings up second down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
At the 31-yard line.
6 yards on that last play. Here's second and 4.
Check. 80 weapon.
To throw is Breeze. Well, this is intercepted, intended for Hill. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. And the defense could not have written a much better script than that first drive, pick 6.
The offense never got a chance to really get oiled up there, did they? But the defense, they certainly got in gear. What a big-time play and a great way for them to start.
And now the offense, they've got to turn things around and figure this out because your backs are on the ground real quickly.
Yeah, usually when you're starting the game getting the ball, 0-0 is the only score you're worried about. Now the second time you get it, you're already down a touchdown.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll probably wish he'd reconsidered here. It will cost him 10 yards as he's down at the 15.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive, almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. Trying to get it to Thomas, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Von Bell. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line. He was trying to hit Thomas that time.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
Following the interception, here's Bridgewater. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. The sack coming from defensive end Cameron Jordan. That's called setting the tone right away.
It certainly is, and it lets you know just how important communication is amongst the offensive line. They talk about it all the time, knowing each other's moves. You've got to be coordinated and in sync. Otherwise, your quarterback gets hit.
And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up third down.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. From the shotgun, it's Bridgewater. That's caught. It's Thomas. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Michael Thomas, 33 yards. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. Lutz good on the extra point, and it's now 14-0. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game.
And here's another interception, the third of this first quarter. Picked up by Marcus Williams. And the return stops just a little bit shy of midfield at the 48-yard line.
Hey, man.
Thomas, the intended target. So that is 3 interceptions now in this first half, and you hate to ask the question, but let's be honest, we're thinking about it. Do you need to go in a different direction next year?
Potentially. We know that he's probably not going to be on the Pro Bowl ballot. That's not really his stature here, but he has been their starting quarterback for this game. So they've got to weigh things about who's behind him. Do they think he can snap it back into gear? Maybe change up the play calling to help him out a little bit.
Well, the second down throw on target. And they get to it after a gain of 6 to the 46. Bridgewater from the gun on third down. He can run for it, and he will. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. Bridgewater on fourth down. Open man is Michael Thomas.
What the fuck? Kiko Alonso is a bomb, man.
Michael Thomas with his second touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. Lutz with the extra point, and that makes the score 21-0. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. That's fielded in the end zone. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line.
If I come back, boy, I'm a fucking beast.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
On 2nd and 7, Breeze. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line.
The Saints take over 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line.
Ready. You got ready. 51. Here we go.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. Able to push forward for about 4 down to the 37.
Your trip is here, baby. Your trip is here.
A gain of 4. It's now
21-0 our score after 1.
field. Hey, it's our house.
On second down, Kamara. And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you've got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean or else they'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
On third down, here's Kamara. And some space here. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Alvin Kamara, 36 yards. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. Lutz good on the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he'd taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Von Bell. And a great return as he takes us up just shy of the 45. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran the wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
Give them 18 there, and the Saints have a first down. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. From the gun, Bridgewater. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. But one thing's for sure, they're still taking their shots downfield, even with a big lead.
I think it's way too early to go into a shell, so I like what they're doing. Continue to take your shots. Continue to be aggressive. It's not their job to slow themselves down.
Go. 58. 58, the Mike. I'm here all day. Hey, 58, boys. 58. 58, Mike. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And here we go again. Here we go again. And 58 is the Mike. Going 58 is the Mike. Watch twist. Take off.
On 2nd down, Bridgewater again. This is complete to Michael Thomas. Well, they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. That one good for 37 yards. Well, one thing's for sure. They're going to have to come up with something at halftime because he is absolutely roasting them right now.
They're going to go through the whole litany of things, changing coverages. You know, what are we going to do to put a man?
And he takes it across and into the end zone. Touchdown, Saints. Alvin Kamara with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Marcus Williams. Well, that was almost a 4-point swing, the interception. If he had returned it all the way, would have been 2 for them, but just a little bit shy.
And when it's a play like that, you're exactly right with the math. But don't you feel like it would have counted for more if they found their way all the way back to the end zone and gotten the 2? That changes the whole momentum, doesn't it?
The Saints take over first and 10.
Let's go.
At their own 29-yard line.
Ready.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Now, they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys.
And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. Breeze now to throw. Cook with a first down and much more. And it's hauled in by Jared Cook. And finally down at the 32-yard line. Boy, he ran free there after the catch as that winds up going for 38.
First down, New Orleans.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. We remind you that coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will be alongside. He'll have highlights and analysis from Orlando of this first half of action. Throwing on first down is Breeze. That'll be complete to Cook. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. That's good for 28 yards. Try to pound it in, Kamara. And he'll get it down close to the goal line, but not quite in. That gets him 3 yards closer here as it brings up 2nd and goal.
Brings up 2nd and goal.
They'll run it with Kamara. And he's going to be shoved back short of the goal line. They hold him again, and now all of a sudden it's 3rd and goal at the 1. This is caught. A terrific job there to keep him out of the end zone. And now it'll be 4th and goal. The offense is staying out there. Here we go on 4th and goal from the 1. Cook's got it. Touchdown, Saints. A 1-yard touchdown pass as they are now on the board here in the first half.
I'm not sure that they have illusions right now of, okay, we're going to score 8 times in a row and we're going to be terrific. But to get 1, that was huge for them. That has to feel much better right now.
And you do have, we're still in the first half. You do have the entire second half. There's something about that goose egg that just looked bad on that board, but now they've broken it.
Yeah, broken through. Can they maintain the pace? We'll see as we go along.
And some good coverage there by the kick team as they'll bring him down at the 16-yard line. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. You're under 30 seconds to go. Field position not great. Time to call it a half, wouldn't you say?
Well, you know we all have that little extra gene.
A breakaway from Michael Thomas. And he'll be down deep into New Orleans territory. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. Here's Bridgewater. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Intended for Ted Ginn Jr. Marshawn Lattimore there defensively.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20.
Let's put them on the buses. Let's put that team on the buses.
Now Bridgewater. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10.
Hey, Team 6. Team 6.
The final shot before half for Breeze. Looking long for Thomas. And now here is another interception. Picked up by Marcus Williams. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. Set now to go for the 3rd quarter. The Saints have the lead and set to receive the kick. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. Of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get them down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Kamara. And he'll muscle his way up to the 43 for a pickup of right around 5.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. On the ground, this is Kamara. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
A 10th carry for Kamara. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
Breeze leaves this one with Kamara. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10.
Watch the run. Watch the run. Good stop, baby. That's baby stop.
They'll run. This is Kamara. He'll be hit down at the 33. 5 yards on the play.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. On the ground, Kamara down to the 30 after a gain of 3.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2.
Here we go, here we go.
Here's Kamara trying to run for it. And he's able to pick up the 1st before he's taken down at the 27. 2 yards and able to get the 1st down in the process.
First and 10 at the 27-yard line.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Eluding the pressure right. And Thomas has it. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. He'll get 15 and a Saints 1st down. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. And that'll do it for the end of the 2nd quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. On 1st and 10, Bridgewater. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Bridgewater to throw it. Looking for Thomas, but that's intercepted. Picked up by Marcus Williams. He's at the 50. He's at the 30. Past the 20. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. This game's still fairly well in hand, but I think now you go conservative, don't you? Go into your shell and just run the football?
I think you have to, but you also have to tell your backs, make sure you're really protecting the football because you're going to run into a stacked defensive front, which is why they were throwing the football before, trying to make sure they just get their backs, really beat up in that situation. Now, good luck to them.
And the Saints hands team able to rein this one in. Now they're down big here in the fourth. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. The Saints first down there on a gain of 11.
First and 10 at the 34-yard line.
From the 34 now, here's first and 10.
Man, I got Mike's 47. Mike's 47. Defense wins championships, baby.
Bridgewater. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by the linebacker, Demario Davis. 30, 20. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Short throw, pick six right there. Those linebackers, they love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
Lutz with the extra point, and that will get them one closer. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. That'll be taken in the end zone. Now a hit and a loose football. And this is picked up by the Saints. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. Jared Cook, the tight end, was the target. But it'll be second and goal. They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's second and goal now.
You're good, you're good. Ready.
Breeze going to throw. To the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete. The linebacker, Demario Davis, got a hand in to break that one up. The crowd here in the Dome making things difficult. Third and goal. They'll try to run it in. It's Kamara. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. A 6-yard touchdown run as his guys are back within a single score. Lutz good on the extra point. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. They've been asleep for a little while on this side of the football, Charles, and the score is just a one-score game now. Haven't had any points this half. What gives?
Let's go old school here. All right, let's get back to the basics. Get back to running the football, high percentage throws. Find the guys that eat pressure and make plays for you and make sure they touch it.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on second down.
Motion. Reset.
A A man who's been busy this afternoon, it's Kamara again. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. This is 3rd and 2. Maybe the biggest play in this football game. Bridgewater now. They'll set up the screen now to Kamara. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. And this defense here going to burn their second timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Running with Kamara. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2. Well, at this stage, that's exactly what you want offensively. Good run on first down, stay in bounds, keep that clock rolling.
And look at that play chart that the play caller has in his hands right now. That's what you got to focus in on, because that's divided up by sections. And right now, he's looking at that 4-minute offense section. What running plays do we have to bleed down the clock and take care of the football? Right now, they're executing really well.
Again, it's Kamara, and he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
Watch the safety creep.
Now Kamara. Tackle is made by Cameron Jordan. Now the Saints will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. This one into the hands of Ginn out wide. And some room to work. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Ted Ginn, 26 yards. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. Play action now. Bridgewater. Feeling the pressure here and taken down. A sack back at the 7. So trying to throw it in for 2 points, but the D got home, brought him down.
It got home, which means there had to be good coverage. Just had nowhere to go with the ball. Typically, you're trying to throw quick hitters, quick slants, maybe even a quick fade. Nothing was open. He ends up getting sacked.
And they'll start in a hole here as he's brought down at the 11-yard line.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive. Almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now Breeze. He's going to let it fly. That's incomplete. Nearly another pick. My goodness. Trying to go for the big one there on 2nd down. Now they're likely down to their final 2 plays.
And they've got to keep going for the big shot, right? So defensively, you play what they call top down. Nothing behind you. Make everything get completed in front.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Now Breeze. And he finds Cook. 17 there, and a New Orleans first down.
0-2.
Breeze now on first down. Out of the backfield, that's complete to Kamara. 12 yards there, good for a Saints first down. Clock management, definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
They go play action here on first down. He's got his all-pro receiver, Michael Thomas. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
Ready? 95-56, 95-56.
Cut. Check 37.
You're good. That's cool. Ready?
36.
You draw corpus.
51 to Mike.
On first down, Breeze. And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left. So second down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. And what are the whistles for? Timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds.
Go.
Now Breeze on third down. Now and this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Von Bell. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
The Saints take over first and 10 at their own 15-yard line.
And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. But, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an